Well, hello, my name's Mr. Cole, and I've been teaching all the brass instruments at OBH for 3 or 4 years now. I first started learning the trombone when I was 12 at high school, and I don't really have one particular musical moment that I can recall, but I can say that when I first started out in my career, I was playing in a West End theatre, travelling up every day from Colchester on the train. Barbara Windsor was in the cast. You might remember her from EastEnders. I played in the Iceland Symphony Orchestra on Danish television, and more recently I have started my own band playing German-style music. Probably the best memory of that particular band is when we play the London German Beer Festival, and I get to stand on stage and tell 5,000 people how to sway to the left and the right, as well as entertaining them with lots of wonderful tunes. However, to brass instruments. Brass instrument is basically a tube made of brass, not surprisingly, and it has a piece of metal at the end which goes in your mouth, called, again, not surprisingly, a mouthpiece. And if you put your lips on the mouthpiece and buzz, and you can play a certain number of notes on just a simple tube. You can actually use a piece of hose pipe at home if you wanted to try this. A more complicated arrangement of a brass tube, and one we have a couple of at school spare, waiting for someone to come and claim them and learn how to play them, a trumpet. So there we go. The instrument that I learned when I was 12 was the trombone. This is a big symphony trombone and plays quite loudly, and it has extra tubing, quite a large bore, something like this. We have one of those spare at school. This is a smaller trombone, what we call a jazz trombone. It's a little smaller in bore, a little sweeter in sound, and would normally or often be played with something over the end to give it a bit of a slightly different tone. There we go. So that's an ordinary trumpet, a trumpet with valves, a small trombone, a big trombone. This is like a young, ungrown tuba. It's a tenor tuba, or what we would call a euphonium if you see them in the band. And I'm going to play this with a homemade drum out of an old cracker box and a wooden spoon. There you go. That gives you an idea of what a euphonium sounds like. Now, we don't have a euphonium at school at the moment. If you wish to play one, you can easily get hold of one on a rental scheme from a music shop like Balaam's in Bury. But what we do have is the granddaddy of all the brass instruments. It's a tuba, and again, it's just a long tube. This one is fatter and deeper than all the others, and normally plays quite simple lines of notes, bass lines really, the low notes of a piece. So there you have an outline of all the brass instruments we have on offer at OBH. Most of them, like I say, are in the cupboard, waiting for someone to come and learn to play them, take them home, practice them, and like all things, the more you play, the better you'll be. Once you get a little bit better and you can play, say, grade 1 standard or above, you can join the jazz band. We meet once a week and we play for half an hour. It's good fun. And like all the things you play, like team games, playing music as a group is good fun because you get to share the end result. And the good thing about playing music as a group is that you don't get cold, wet, and muddy. Thank you very much. Hope to see you in the music department.